But Islam is maybe respectable in its beginnings. It began as bands of young warrior companions of the Prophet, as a collection of gangs essentially. And that society dominated by men like that would have this kind of public institution as the Al-Amma type so-called concubines. Why not? But whether you are a traditionalist social conservative or you're in full mode where you think hypersexualization or sexual impropriety or lust, public nudity is somehow the result of American or capitalist neoliberal, I hate that word, neoliberal, but if you think it's meddling on behalf of that, I don't know how you deal with this, let alone with more ancient institutions like the harem. But let's leave aside this for a moment and deal with the Muslim world as it is now. And as it is now, it's a haven for boy sex. Always was, actually, but very much still is. The type of love slaves I describe have mostly disappeared, but not the boy sex. It's been known as a welcoming place for Western men into boy sex for a long time, actually, and still is. Most have heard of the Bachabazi by now, the dancing boy prostitutes of Afghanistan, or of the fact that in that country, American and British soldiers would often be approached by the local men to try to paint their toenails, dance with them, whatever, but that's very common all over the Gulf states especially. It's been so for a long time. Schopenhauer mentions that medieval Arabic love poetry, women might as well not even exist. And William Burroughs, you may know of him, but he's not the only Western type of gay who travel for boy sex, in his case to Morocco. That's a popular destination for this. But again, he's not the only one. The whole Maghreb and Morocco and such places have been known in modern world, I'm saying, for 100 years or more as a popular destination for boy sex. And there was disgusting Arab lecture, right? An Arab man touches you, okay? And he tried to touch my thigh. I think I must have been 18 years old because I frequented the chess tables in a major city and he was hanging out around there too. And this was an old man, okay, like old, late 60s, I think. I don't know. And I thought, I was naive. I thought he was being friendly to me and he tried to tell me to become a rent boy with stories, in full public. There are people around, we were playing chess. This is outdoors. And he just made stories about how all of his friends did it in Saudi Arabia. Oh, no, they all did it. Yeah, you should charge, they told me they charged $300, or that's what they would charge in the United States. And that it was perfectly normal there. And everything else I've heard about this region checks out that's the attitude there. As in if you're a blonde Western guy especially, they're very much into that. So if you travel to an open-air market, as a tourist I'm saying, in Turkey countryside, or Turkey second-tier cities, or in Syria or such, and you will be given the rape stare non-stop and you will be hit on and so on. People say Lawrence of Arabia lied about being raped by Turkish soldiers, but I don't think he lied. Even if he did, it's entirely what happens in that area. Napoleon's soldiers were raped in Egypt, and he told, they came to complain to him, and he says, well, you're alive, aren't you? What are you complaining about? Move on, he tells them. There's a story about Napoleon, but it happened all over that area, and it still happens. It's not just rape, there's just a rapey vibe all over Iraq, Syria, Turkey, and so forth. Watch Midnight Express, I think it's called. So I don't think Lawrence of Arabia lied. I think the Turkish officers raped him to prove that England was beta, But why did it become common knowledge about, let's say, British pedos, that you travel to Morocco, for example, for boy sex because it was acceptable and easy there, but not easy, and it was dangerous and illegal in England, actually, until recently. And I think the pedo variety probably still is, but not in the Muslim world. And yes, everyone knows about the English boarding schools and such, but I'd say that's not the same, by the way, both in the practices that were frequent, the fact that I don't think sodomy was widely practiced in the boarding school, there were other things practiced, but the fact that it was a temporary thing, they engaged in only as adolescents, whereas as a grown man, I'm saying it was not possible to find this in England. And so English pedos had to travel to other locations around the world where it was acceptable, you see, and that's the Arab Muslim world, or certain equatorial places also and such, I'll get to in a moment. But yes, they don't have gay identity. They don't have gay identity in Iran, for example. So they can get away with saying there are no gays here. You know, which Ahmadinejad he claims that. But he was the leader of Iran. Some of you are maybe Zoomers don't remember. But here, I read you a comment. I don't know if this is from Steve Saylor's blog. This is funny. I don't know if it is from blog comments on Steve Saylor's blog. I'm not saying Steve Saylor wrote this. That would be funny. Some commenter, I think from Ons or something like that. Iranian he says, I think you are a bunch of idiots trying to judge everything with your nonsensical mindset. I am a man and have fucked boys in Iran when I was in high school. They were supposedly gay and we used to call them sissy boys. So will that make me gay? No. I did that because girls were not accessible. Also, at a younger age, fucking somebody meant proving your superiority. Even now, I would happily fuck you MF to show who has the upper hand. But these sort of affairs would mostly happen between bullies and sissies. The rest, 90% of children were immune of such activities. Those of us who did such things a couple of times also gave up doing so as we became more mature. I think you are out of your mind if you think 30% of men are gay and those unmarried are involved with other men. You come up with such ideas only because your fucked up society is so obsessed with gays, gayness, gay rights, etc. As Ahmadinejad said, we don't have gays in Iran, but we are happy to export our sissy boys to your fucked up societies. I am sure you will enjoy their company since you, new generation nerdish Westerners, have turned gays yourself. Agree, disagree, etc. Okay, that's... Okay, you like that?
So long as the Arabs fight tribe against tribe, so long will they be a little people, a silly people, greedy, barbarous, and cruel, as you are.
Come.